let's look at, yeah, that pay is this how it printed with the graphs overlaid on each other?
I guess so.
It's two different questions. It's like they've let me see if I can actually find this. This probably is on the internet, this worksheet, and then I'll see if I can while I'm doing that here, why don't you try number see if there's one that's nice. Nope. Why don't you just try 3 for us, 4 comma 3, 1 comma -5. You're adding up the x values, you're adding up the y values, and you're dividing by 2 in both cases.
Is it 7/2?
So you're adding up the x values, right? So the x values, they come first, x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So you're adding up 4, 4 and 1 and dividing by 2. The x values always come first in the ordered pair, x before y. That's how I remember it.
Okay.
And then you do the same thing for the y values. It's 3 plus -5 divided by 2.
Um, okay, -4/2.
So what do these reduce to?
Honestly, I'm still kind of confused.
Okay, what is 4 plus 1?
5.
5. So it's 5 divided by 2. And on the right, 3 plus -5. 3 plus -5. What is that?
-2.
-2 divided by 2. So now you just divide if you can. 5 does not divide by 2. Now, if you prefer decimals, instructor is probably okay with that. How about -2 divided by 2? What does that reduce to?
0.
Nope, it's a sharing problem. Think of, you have 2 things and 2 friends. How many things does each friend get?
4.
2 things and 2 friends.
2 things. Oh, 1.
1, and then that negative just comes down. So think of division as a sharing problem for
Okay.
the time being. I assume you have friends. We all have at least 1 or 2 good friends, and it's the best way to remember that. All right, let's look at number 4. I'm going to snip this one in. It's just so odd how this was printed, but nothing we can do about that. So again, you're finding the midpoint. Let me snip this in here. You're finding the midpoint. You're adding up the x's. Okay, so the x's are 2 and -3. Do you see that x1 and x2? So you're gonna take those 2 values and add them up. 2 plus -3 and divide by 2. Then you take the y values, y1 and y2. You add those up and divide by 2 as well. So that's 7 plus 1 divided by 2. So just like the previous problems, you have to add up the x values. We even write that, add up the x values. And then you add up the y values.
Okay.
So can you help me reduce this on the right here?
It's the 7 plus, oh, start from that side, but
You can do that. That one does, the order doesn't matter.
it'd be 8/2, and then it'd
Okay.
be 4.
It's 4, good. Okay, how about the one on the x coordinate here? 2 plus -3.
-1/2.
-1/2.
Yeah.
And that one does not reduce So that is it.
Okay. I think
Okay, so let me grab one of the graphs here and try and grab these are try to explain what's going on here. Unfortunately, it's a little bit odd. So I have the luxury of well, yeah, this is really bad because we can't even read the points, but let's try. All right, so let's look at this one in red here. All right. Problem is I can't tell you what the ordered pairs are. I'm gonna go with this top one is 0,4, and this bottom one is 1, 2, 3. Wait. Yeah, let's go 8, -5. We can't, the problem is because they're overlaid, we can't figure it out. But to determine the midpoint, you just use the formula we've been using the last couple of problems. X1 plus X2 over 2, Y1 plus Y2 over 2.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just choosing, I'm making up these points. So if you go to the classroom tomorrow or whenever this is due and you're like, hey, you know, I use these points, you can blame me. You can say, well, I was working with, you know, Matthew and, you know, he didn't know what this was. But in terms of how to do it though, you're taking the two X values, right? The two X values, 0 plus 8 divided by 2. And then what are the two Y values in this problem?
-5 and 4.
Yeah, now the order doesn't really matter, but it's good to kind of stay consistent, like X1, Y1, X2, Y2.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so can you reduce those for me, please?
8 over 2 and 4 over 2 or
You
oh
gotta add the top first, like there's
oh
implied parentheses there.
yeah. Okay. 1 over 2 or -1 over 2.
Yes. Okay, so let's look at another graph here. I know these are kind of weird. Okay, so I'll switch colors here. Let's go with this blue, and we'll go with 0, 3, and then this other point right here is a -3, 3. So the midpoint formula, just like in the previous problems, you take your X values and add them up and divide by 2. Your Y values, you add them up and divide by 2. What are your X values in this problem? What is the first digit in each ordered pair?
The -3 and 0.
Yes, perfect. So you take those two numbers and add them together, divide by 2. And then Y1 and Y2. So you got to grab the other number. Now they can be the same. You divide by 2. So can you reduce these for me, please?
Yes. 3 over 2.
What about this negative out in front?
Oh, -3? Is it? Oh,
Yes,
negative
yes,
over
yes,
2.
negative. It comes, it's like an adjective or an accessory, like well, maybe an accessory is a bad example because you might drop it or put it away, but it comes with, right? It's tagging along with that 3. And how
Yeah.
about the one on the right? 3
6 over
plus the,
2, which can
okay,
also 3.
that reduces to 3. Good. All right, let's go back and because these graphs are they're just so wonky. We'll just finish off here with doing number 12. Maybe we'll get through 11 and 12. Yeah, one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. It's almost like it got printed on
I think
top of.
I think that's what happened.
Okay,
But just give instructions. So
Not your fault. You can blame the instructor. All right, so we're gonna find the midpoint. So you've got to add the x values.
-9/2.
Okay, very good. And then you add the y values.
9/2.
Very good. All right, let's get number 11 done. And I did look there's a number of these out there on the web. This one may have been like saved from a while back. I couldn't find it exactly. But last one here, you're adding the x values.
-10 on the right.
You're adding 2 plus -1.
Oh, I was on the other side.
Otherwise, okay, -6 plus 5. It's good to
Oh.
write them out.
-11/2.
So on the right though, you've got one positive and one negative. So the answer is negative because it's -6 is further from 0 than 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's -1/2.
Oh,
Okay. So you look at the sign, which one is further from 0 to determine the sign, and then you take the larger and subtract the smaller, which in this case would be 6 minus 5, which is 1. And then you bring that negative down. How about the one on the left here? 2 plus -1/2.
that would be -3.
So it's like this. You have $2 and you owe a friend $1. How much do you have left?
1.
$1, 1/2. Okay, we will have to stop here. Before I let you go, next week at 3 p.m. on Wednesday, does that work for you?
Yes, I just have to set an alarm like everything else.
Okay. So your mom wanted me to like message you or email you the day of. Is that the best way for me to communicate with you day of?
Yes.
This
And are you able to send it to like my phone number?
I can make I'll send you a text the day of.
Okay.
Yeah, the email it's only through email that the link comes in, but I can also just send you a reminder through text on the day of.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, next Wednesday at 3, and I'll send you the notes here shortly. Thanks for letting me help you, and I'll see you then. Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
Okay, bye now.